So our next question is talking about music. When you're just getting into it these days, where are you going to get that music library that a lot of us, purchased via CDs a million years ago? Cassette tapes, no. Records, no. Rocks and stone, no. But anyway, if you're starting out, where would you recommend them to go to start building that music library? And Cubby, I think you're going to start us off with this one if you can.
I like to use legal services like Promo Only. They don't have a backlog of it, but if I'm starting, I would buy some CDs that were like greatest hits of the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and kind of build my library that way. But I'd always subscribe to a legal software service like Promo Only that can provide you. You can do a monthly subscription if you're just starting out and can't afford a weekly subscription. But I like to support people that support the industry. And so I've worked with Promo Only for a lot of years and love to support them. And I love they have videos, they have, picks of the week, and they have all the new ones. To get a backlog, like I said, I would, because I started so long ago, honestly, I have them. Yeah. But if I was starting new, talking to a new DJ, I'd grab the best hits of the 80s, best hits of the 90s, type things like that you'd use over and over again. And watch the top 200 charts from DJ Event Planner to see what's being played. As far as some of the older songs, make sure you have those. The DJ Event Planner is a software that I use that always produces the top 200 and the top 80s and 90s. And so I'd watch those lists. They tend to never change the 80s, 90s, and 2000 hits. They can always right near the top, but just make sure I had those hits. And I think you'd be safe as just starting out with that type of a music library.
So one thing I'll jump in, Dan, before Cubby mentioned that Promo Only does not have a back catalog, and that is a big thing with any legal music service, is that they can only offer you as a new subscriber to their services in the audio, the MP3 format. They can only offer you a couple of months back, even if they can go back. It might be 45 days now. That has been something that has changed over the years, not in the last few years, but it has changed from what it used to be, where we could go to some of these and get four back years worth of music. They cannot do that when it comes to audio. Video is a different story. You can go and buy the best of videos from Promo Only all the way back through their whole entire catalog, which is one way to get some of those back hits, where you can go buy, like from Promo Only, the all-time party hits DVD. It's got a lot of great stuff on there. Today you would get it by a pool and you download it, and then you could literally rip the audio from that music video, or you could just leave it as a music video, whatever you want to do. But that would be one way to get it, and it would be completely legal for you to use, and you're supporting a company that, again, supports the industry. So that's why some companies that have a back library of MP3s from 5 to 10 years ago, not legitimate companies within the music industry. Dan, what would you recommend?
So my direction, I was going to say, is, make sure you meet somebody in the back alley and buy the Platinum series off of them.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you that have been around, you know what I'm talking about. But for the new guys, there was this system, but like, what was it, 30 years ago now, maybe, to at least 20 something, where it had all of those songs that you would ever want in a series. And it was very, at the time, everybody jumped on it, and since then it became illegal. So that's why I said the back alley piece. But no, in all seriousness, I love the ideas. Both of them, spoke very highly of some great services that they can offer. One additional piece that I would do, or two additional thoughts I would do to kind of help with this process, because you're just starting out. You don't, if you're subscribing to a pool of some sort, and you're spending, $40, $50 in that a month, and then you've got this other cost, it's hard to try and grow that catalog fast enough. So I would take, exactly as Cubby said, take those top lists and really kind of stick to the top 10, and maybe go hit up Amazon or go hit up iTunes before they stop selling their music, and just buy those individual MP3 tracks. But then I would also go one extra step, and I would go into that streaming service that Virtual DJ and some of these other ones have, that has the ability to kind of flesh your catalog out while you are building it up. I would not do that long term. I know there are some that are just like, technology is there, you're fine. And very well, you might be. But when you're starting out, you got to do something to be able to kind of fill that gap, if you will. And this is one of those things you can use to kind of fill that gap. And then as you get completely self-reliant, or you go to a venue that has no Wi-Fi, you're already okay.
Yeah, I think the best spot, well, you can still buy it from Apple, but you have to do some things with it. Amazon, I think right now is your best spot. Take those lists, go buy the songs. You could take $1,000, and I know it's a lot of money, but boy, you can get it for $1,000. You can buy 700 some songs, and that will take you pretty much everywhere you need to go if you take those lists. Another thought. I'm going to put a shout out to Jim Cerrone here. Jim Cerrone is a music programmer, and he's a radio guy who used to be the music director for his different stations that he's worked at over the years. And he's gone out on Spotify, and he is making the Jim Cerrone's ultimate playlist for a variety of different categories. And it's a fabulous little set of playlists he has, because I think he's got the 80s and the 90s, and he's taken this playlist of like the best of. And that would be really where I think I would start nowadays, is take Jim's list and go buy all those songs, because he does such a nice job and has such a great mix of literally Saturday, we needed to have music in a location, and we couldn't do anything beyond a cell phone Spotify, and there was a remote location, and it was playing Jim Cerrone's ultimate yacht rock play party, his cocktail yacht rock list. So find somebody that does that is into that area, and you guys will really be happy to follow what they've done with that, because he's got a great feel for that. So, okay.
John, if you could, I got one more plug that I got to do for somebody else. So, a friend of ours with DJNTV, Matt Campbell, he also, so My Wedding Songs, right? So he just got his book. Like it was buying book week for Carter.
Wow.
So he put this book out as well. This is no joke. This is just like chock full of playlists, different styles, very similar. Some of them reminded me of like Greg Holman's. Like, I don't know if you guys know Greg and New Jersey-based DJ. A couple years ago, he was known for coming up with all these different types of cocktail playlists. Like, you wanted a style, he had it, right? This is kind of in that frame, but then it also kind of fleshes out, also gives you some that are a little bit different, a little bit outside the box type of thing, or covers that keep it fresh. And you can pick that up. That was an Amazon buy as well. That's how he's selling it. I think there's a Kindle version as well, but
nice.
Same idea, and really easy. And then you can just fill your list.
Excellent. That sounds good. Yeah, I didn't even realize that was out. Huh. You learn something every day. All right, we're going to jump to our next question.